Kevin Patullo. Turn in everything that you have, your playbooks, your headsets, whatever BS playbook you have, never show your face again. A.J. Brown. Not one, not two, 3 drops. Poor effort. Bro. Tank Bigsby is cooking in the first half. You can't get the ball to Tank Bigsby in the second one time. You can't even put him on the field. Dallas Goedert. 49ers, 5th, 6th, 7th string linebackers on the field. You can't get it to Dallas Goedert. Saquon Barkley, cooking. First half. Outside zones. To the left side of the offensive line. You can't continue doing that. They clearly can't guard in man coverage, especially in the middle field. You can't do that because you're Kevin Patullo. You can't do cross routes in the middle of the field, even though Jalen Hurts' percentages are the best in the NFL when he throws across the field. You can't do that. Peak ineptitude. Peak stupidity. Bro, let me pull this. I want to make sure I get this right. So touchdown, downs, didn't take points. We're gonna get into Jake Elliott as well. Touchdown, punt, field goal, punt, field goal, down. On the last drive of the game, what were you thinking? I want to know what Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo were thinking on first and second down play call, the last series of the game. I want to go deep into their mind, into their brain. I want to know what Nick Sirianni is thinking running inside zone. First and 10, second and 10. No one is open in the middle of the field. You don't use the middle of the field. The fielders are what they're using. You don't do it. You don't put Tank Bigsby on the field. You don't properly cover Christian McCafferey when it matters most. You don't hold contain when it matters most. You can't. Cam Jurgens. You are on a short leash. You, sir. Every positive chunk play, holding number 51 every single time. Now y'all get to see why the Pro Bowl's a joke. Because Cam Jurgens today got worked. He got worked today. Don't give me Eagles super team ever again. Jalen Hurts had wide receivers dropping passes. Jalen Hurts had people not knowing how to block. People missing blocking assignments. Jalen Hurts had defenders read Blankenship. CMC, you see they're doing some kind of jet motion in the backfield. CMC is still running wheel route up the sideline, and you see him blow by you, and you don't think, oh, maybe I should go with him? The only positive is Vic Fangio, up till the end of the game, stood on it. We will not let Christian McCafferey beat us. And Demarcus Robinson beat them. For the majority, Demarcus Robinson beat them. We're going to get into the only other positive today, which was Quinyon Mitchell and Jalen Hurts, who to an extent overcame bad play calling. But yet he couldn't do it in the end. Because KP, White Osama, rose again. Said, I got one more for y'all. KP did that. White Osama. And his brother in arms, Nick Sirianni. They did that. They did that today. It is just, you start off so well. And then, I don't know if you're trying to be different. I don't know. Because, bro, let's keep it a stack. The 49ers didn't do any crazy adjustments to stop the running game. They still were playing 5-man, 6-man, 7 people at the line of scrimmage. They were still doing that in the first half. Didn't matter. So I don't know if we go from that, Saquon cooking, Tank Bigsby running over people in the second quarter, to Tank Bigsby not even taking a single offensive snap in the second half. How do we go from that to that, KP? How? I need to know. KP. Well, he should not have a job. Kevin Patullo, unless it's the head coaching position for the New York Giants, Kevin Patullo should be nowhere near an NFL job next season. This was awful. This abysmal. This was an embarrassment. The defense. Quinyon Mitchell was arguably the best player on the Eagles offense today. Quinyon Mitchell. Shannon Sharp said it best. Tweeted, Brock Purdy, you are better off throwing it into the dirt than targeting Quinyon Mitchell. After he gave up that big play, like first play of the game, Quinyon Mitchell was on locks for the rest of the game. And let's go to the drive that really made people, lose their minds. Let's go to that drive. Let's find that, because it's stuff like this that we can't let people keep getting away with ineptitude. I think this might be it. So the Eagles get the ball at the 49ers 46-yard line. Most people would have scored a touchdown. 10 plays, 23 yards, 2.3 yards per play, 5 minutes. Kevin Patullo, do not show your face again. Ever. That is embarrassing. That is a joke. That peak ineptitude today from Dum Sirianni, White Osama Patullo. 10 plays, 23 yards. And let me guess. Wait, did Tank Bigsby touch the ball at all? Oh no, he ran a BS inside zone for -1 yards on 2nd and 10. That's the best Kevin Patullo had to offer today. Refused to use the middle of the field. Absolute joke. You can't make this up. And Hurts clearly audible out of several plays, especially earlier in the game. That's really the only reason probably Eagles were able to get any points, because this dude keeps getting in his own way, refuses to exploit the weaknesses of a defense that in the front 7 is starting 5th, 6th, 7th string linebackers and edge rushers. Yet you refuse to exploit that weakness. You say, oh, let's go against the starting corners. Let's throw go balls to Jahan Dotson on 2nd and 10 when he's on Renardo Green, a guy that arguably could have been in the Pro. Let's throw it to Jahan Dotson, our third wide receiver, against a starting corner who arguably could have been a Pro Bowler this year. That's the bright light bulb that Kevin Patullo was saving for the Eagles offense in the playoffs. That's what y'all produced today. There's no words. There's really no Hurts, Could he have done a bit more? Maybe. But no, Kevin Patullo doesn't want people to run. Kevin Patullo, for some reason, doesn't want Tank Bigsby or Jalen Hurts to run the one quarterback run designed for Jalen Hurts today. That alone, like, you would have thought we had Jared Goff at quarterback today. That based on the play calling, and all that stuff, you would have thought that. But no, it's just KP being KP. At some point in time, now we went through the first 5 games of Hurts's first season starting. We saw Shane Steichen take over, and we saw the team catch fire as a whole, especially offensively. We saw the next season, Shane Steichen took over completely. Hurts MVP year, Super Bowl run, outplays Mahomes. The next year, Brian Johnson, we're back in the Sirianni system. Hurts carries the team until the team completely falls apart against the 49ers in week 13 when they let Matt Patricia start calling plays. 2024, now we're back. Kellen Moore's playbook, Jalen Hurts MVP discussions, Eagles Super Bowl run. Saquon has one of the greatest seasons in history. Now we're back to dumb Sirianni's playbook. Kevin Patullo not adding anything, not adding any juice, but ineptitude. And here we are. Here we are again. This is embarrassing. You couldn't beat a team, so there was no George Kittle after the second quarter. There was no Nick Bosa. He didn't play today. There was no Fred Warner. There was no Ricky Pearsall. So I just named one of the best edge rushers in football, arguably the best linebacker in football. And then his backup, Fred Warner's backup, is out. And 19 points. That was the Kevin Patullo. 19 points was the best you could muster against practice squad CFL caliber linebackers. That's all you could do. I'm done with it. I'm really done with it. We said, y'all know me. We keep it aside. We keep it a buck. We said the Eagles' offense is not good enough to win the Super Bowl. And I don't want to hear it. When Patrick Mahomes has bad play calling, he can't get it done. Well, it's Mahomes and this is tough but yada, yada, yada. Or when Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson don't have great play calling and they go home early. And it's, well, Josh Allen didn't have this and that and, and blah, blah, blah. It's not on Josh. Yet when Jalen Hurts gets dumb ass play calling decisions, Nick Sirianni calling timeouts because he doesn't have a play ready on 4th down at the end of the game. Maybe if the Eagles get a 3 and out, maybe the Eagles get the ball back with some time left to try to go down and get a shot at the end zone. But no, Nick Sirianni, bad coaching. AJ Brown, 1, 2, 3 big time drops, poor effort. Never ask for the ball again because the ball will find you. The ball has a way of finding you. When you were complaining about not getting the ball, you found out today. You effed around today and found out, AJ Brown. You did that. Jake Elliott could have kicked the field goal there on 4th down. But no, you had to miss the extra point on the first drive of the game. Jake Elliott, this is partially on you. Don't think we forgot about you this year. You're on a short leash. Jordan Davis played well. Jalen Carter played well. Jalen Phillips played well. The Kobe Dean. Christian McCafferey, one of the elite running back wideouts in the game. He lines up. He starts going out. You give him outside leverage. He cuts back across your face. And it's a touchdown. Every single time. This is not just a Kobe. It's most linebackers across the league or guys that are covering running backs coming out of the backfield in the league. When they're running a Texas route, that means the running back cuts out to the outside and then cuts back across the middle to the inside. Why do linebackers continue to give running backs outside leverage so you can cut back across your face to the end zone? Nakobe Dean explain. Nakobe Dean is too good. Nakobe Dean is too good for that. Was the leader of one of the greatest college defenses of all time. You are too good for that, Nakobe Dean. Guys losing Kyle Juszczyk in coverage in the fourth quarter. What are we doing? Yeah. Some guys came to play. Jalen Hurts came to play. Devontae Smith came to play. Dallas Goedert had a career game. But it's going to be overshadowed because Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown are having another pissing match on the sideline. So no one's going to talk about how Dallas Goedert had a career game today because of this bogus BS. Quinyon Mitchell forced 3 turnovers today. But it's going to be overshadowed because Nick Sirianni wants to call timeout on 4th and 11. Or Jake Elliott decides to make extra points in crucial moments. But no, tomorrow's going to be, well, do they need to move on from Jalen Hurts and do all this? Like, I'm not even going to talk about this. I saw Josh Allen get his ass carried 10 yards into the end zone by another grown man, and everyone at ESPN celebrated that shit. No, it's different levels. Sorry, Mom. It came out. I'm hot. I'm hot. Sorry, Mom. Just came out. But I saw Josh Allen get carried. 2 tush-push TDs today for Josh Allen. No one said a word. But I will. Coach, what did we say after the Commanders game? It's going to come down to coaching. And we saw it today. We said either the Eagles were going to win or Kevin Patullo was going to beat the Eagles. Clearly, one of those outcomes occurred today. You feel free to tell me which one. You look at the final score. And almost every single Jalen Hurts incompletion today, look at the replay. Tom Brady said it best. Who's open? Who? If you point to me, go to any of Jalen Hurts' incompletions, you tell me today who was open. Clearly it wasn't because A.J. Brown was busy getting locked up by a mediocre safety in Brown. The DB Brown for the Niners. He was busy getting locked up going half-ass speed, dropping passes left and right. They knew Goddard was a threat, so they were doubling Goddard in the flat. Had to check it down to Saquon because Devontae's route is not necessarily on Devontae, but Devontae's covered because the play calling is terrible. It's terrible. It's all. There's no words for the play calling. So Devontae's covered. AJ's going half-ass. Goddard's doubled in the flat. Oh, right. But the big light bulb was to throw a go ball to Jahan Dotson, who's getting guarded by an extremely underrated young corner in Renardo Green. That was the light bulb that Kevin Patullo was saving for the playoffs. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's embarrassing. Nick Sirianni, you should be ashamed of yourself because this is your product. This is your playbook that you put out on the field. You take as much heat as Kevin Patullo deserves tonight. You take that heat as well. You're so busy getting in a pissy match with A.J. Brown, you don't know what's going on the field. No clue. And your play calling got Saquon hurt. Why are you running inside zone on that play, in that situation, the way the game is flowing, why are you doing that? Can't get it to Tank Bigsby. You can't. Man, I'm about to say some things. This is just nasty. This is disgusting. Um, and once again, Philly talk. We're objective. We keep it a sack. We keep it a buck. Brock Purdy legacy drive. He drove him down the field, beat Vic Fangio. Kyle Shanahan, for the first time in Kyle Shanahan's career, he outdueled Vic Fangio. So shout out Kyle Shanahan, shout out Brock Purdy. They made the play. But once again, if Kyle Shanahan could make Demarcus Robinson look like Jamar Chase today, then how is Devontae covered every single time? How is A.J. Brown, who albeit was going half-assed on certain plays, how is A.J. Brown not getting the ball? Why can't we do those routes? Why can't we do complex plays? Why? But hey, the Eagles said, we're not going to let CMC beat us. Until 5 minutes left in the ball game, CMC did not beat them. Demarcus Robinson beat him early. CMC beat him late. Hey, Eagles defense. I feel bad. Once again, Quinion Mitchell, 3 turnovers, forced. Cooper DeJean was balling. The D-line stuffed Christian McCafferey for 55 minutes of a ball game. That should be more than enough. But hey, we saw this in the Bills game. It's only because Josh Allen choked on the 2-point conversion that the Eagles are at 10-7. Because you held Josh Allen to 0 points for 55 minutes. You held James Cook under wraps for 55 minutes. But no, this time, once again, the playoffs stuff hurts you twice as much. Jake Elliott, missed extra point. That hurts twice as much. The Kobe Dean giving CMC outside leverage. That hurts just as much. Reed Blankenship watching CMC blow by him, still staring at Juwan Jennings like Juwan Jennings is going to run the freaking ball by Jalen Phillips and Adoree Jackson. Like that's going to work. But no, let CMC go into the end zone untouched. By the way, Eagles, they missed Andrew Makuba today. Because Andrew Makuba is not getting fooled by that. They missed Andrew Makuba today. Y'all gonna learn next season when Makuba is cooking up. Y'all are gonna learn how good and how big he meant to this team. Yes, he was still making some rookie mistakes. Yes, he's still developing. But Andrew Makuba, the future is bright. I look extremely forward to seeing Andrew Makuba next season. Healthy revamps. I look extremely forward to that. But end of the day, I feel for Jalen Hurts. I feel for Devontae Smith. I feel for Dallas Goedert. I feel for the defense. Because minus the Kobe play, minus the Reed play, because they were big plays, obviously led to scores. The defense played great. The defense did what they had to do, forcing downs, interceptions, forcing fumbles or knee was down, run out the clock. The defense played more than well enough to win the game. And unfortunately, White Osama, Patullo, just had to strike one last time before hopefully he is out of this job come Monday morning. Quinion Mitchell forcing 3 turnovers. Cooper DeJean playing out of his mind. Jordan Davis having another big-time game. And all y'all could muster was 19 points. All y'all could muster on first and second down, once again, Mina Kimes said it best, was inside zone. It's tough. It's tough. I've got my rant. I've got my soliloquy off. Obviously now, full-time 76ers. We're going to be talking about guys, and but hey, for the Sixers, the other Nick half the time doesn't know what he's doing. Don't get me started on Nick Nurse right now. I don't want to think about Nick Nurse right now. I just want to focus on the generator. MVP Maxey. Paul George is playing out of his mind. I want to focus on the good. That's what I want to do. But unfortunately, we always know with Philly sports, there's always something. But we will be full-time now. Sixers talk. I think they're playing right now, actually. I forgot who they're playing, but they're playing right now. So we'll be tapped into that. But this is just, once again, just this is the way. If the season was going to end, it was going to end this way. Real Eagles fans knew it. Shout out to my man Philly Tangled RB. Shout out to Miles Johnson. Real talk with MJ. Like, all the real Eagles creators out there who knew if the Eagles lost, this was how it was going to go down. Shout out to my man JV Show. Like, shout out to the guys, man, because they knew as well as I did. If the Eagles lost, this was how it was going to happen. But hey, sometimes, you're going to have games, you're going to have years like this. Mahomes has had years like this. Where obviously he didn't go home in the first round, but he didn't get to where he wanted to be. I was probably the most reminiscent memory is Bengals AFC Championship, 2021. The great every great player has days like this where the team just didn't have enough, or the play calling was just inept. But I still rock with Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. If you want to stay in Philly this offseason, you have some major explaining to do because you let the team down today. You potentially left 14 points off the board, AJ Brown. You, good sir, did that. Jake Elliott, missing points, clearly taking out the field goal option late in the ball game. A couple of defensive miscues. That's all it takes for an underdog like the San Francisco 49ers to defeat the Eagles 23-19. Hopefully the Eagles go defensive or O-line in the first round because guys on the O-line have clearly regressed. Exhibit A, C. Landon Dickerson, C. Cam Jurgens. Tyler Steen is clearly just a guy. Fred Johnson was able to hold his own, but you're going to get Lane Johnson back. But the interior of the O-line definitely needs to be addressed. I can assure you, Jeff Stoutland will be addressing that with Howie Roseman this offseason. And we'll get more offseason stuff later in the week, later in the month. Obviously, we get closer to the draft. We're going to start breaking down who would be the best fits. There's a couple corners that are nice. Maybe the Eagles trade up. There's obviously, a couple of linemen as well. But in the meantime, man, Sixers talk. Here we go. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Embiid, McCain, PG, Drummond, Grimes, Bona, Barlow. Yes, sir. Let's get to it. Shout out Justin Edwards. But hey, man, the sun got to end this way, and I'll take the heat, but because me, we don't back down. We stand on what we said. But hey, man, it's your boy, Philly Talk PA. One last time talking Eagles this season. Once again, unfortunate way to go out. But once again, we always keep it a stack. Always keep it a buck. I'm out, y'all. Till next time.